Hey, welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for Libra. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. For those of you that are new to my channel, anything of any importance or relevance for the channel, you can find in the description box. Also, if you're interested in shadow healing coaching, you definitely want to go to the description box to find my Patreon and look at my subscription for $7.99 a month for shadow healing. Comes with inner child healing, shadow healing, and reparenting. It's really important to help you break karmic cycles that keep you in a place of limitation and fear. Now, again, I do shadow healing readings, but I do look at everything. I just like to go deep because, like I said, I feel like there's many different, first of all, I know that there's many different realities that play out at one time, and your level of consciousness determines your karma. But awareness is what makes you be able to heal and really shape shift your reality, which is empowering, which allows you to see yourself different. And how do you manifest things? Well, it's the thoughts that you think and the emotions that you have. So you have to embody positive thoughts. You have to embody yourself succeeding. You have to see yourself succeeding, and mastery comes in doing. And that's so I'm feeling like Libra, you may be someone that's in the process of creating yourself, finding yourself, and you are getting triggered a bit. And so there's a sense of wanting to project that energy onto somebody else because you don't feel good. So I feel like you're connected to a soulmate that isn't giving you what you need. That is oblivious to what you need. This is again, I don't know why I'm psychically picking that up. We're going to see what the word of the day is. You're going to write the word of the day in your comment bar, and maybe it'll be some sort of relevance, hopeless. Yeah. So it's again, I feel like there's a sense that you feel hopeless because you're like, I can't do anything to make this person move faster, to create awareness. I have to let them go through their process. But in that, they're not, I have to accept that they're not here for me in my time, that I would need some support. So there's a theme that I feel like you keep living, Libra, which is emotionally, I never get what I need. Emotionally, no one gives a fuck about what I need. And there is an anger to it because it's a wound. So it's like anything else. If you stubbed your toe in the same place over 100,000 times, you would want to throw that table out the window or run it over with a car a million and times and see it smash into a million pieces of the rage. Because again, our true sense of self is the God part of self, which is of unconditional love. It's the vibration, it's the energy, it's the character of unconditional love. And so again, you're connected to someone that you do love, but it's almost like I have to deal with it. And it's making you angry. And it's making you angry because you're like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with the disrespect. So it's a soulmate that's also a karmic mate. And I feel like this person doesn't think that they need to put effort in because, again, there's such a strong connection. It's almost like it's a sure thing. And I'm feeling like they're going to feel hopeless if they're not already, which is what I'm feeling. It's like hopeless. What do you do? I feel like you and this person need to have a good conversation because you both want to talk, only you want to tell this person a piece of your mind, and this person is wanting to hand you a bunch of excuses because they feel hopeless. They feel like I don't whatever I want to convey, it's this person, you're only going to see it through your perception, and your perception is whatever you perceive, and this person has not been there for you. So they obviously were somewhere else. Something else was more important. And so they know this. It's like I feel like the situation is hopeless and it's giving them a lot of anxiety. And I'm feeling like you're like, I feel like the connection is hopeless because I'll never see you the same way. However, you're still holding on. You're both still holding on. So this is definitely a karmic connection, and we feel like there's a psychic cord where it's like, I can't move forward. And it's like, this is what your person feels. I can't move forward until you tell me that you don't want to be with me at all, that I completely ruined my chances. I'm pretty much 99.99999% sure that I fucked this up, that you're not going to take me back, but I need to hear it myself out of your mouth in order to be able to move forward, because I've tried to move forward and I can't move forward. It's like, so it's again, they're kind of stuck like in this place of limbo. And I feel like you're also stuck because you're like, I'm so pissed off on how you treated me. I'm so pissed off, but I loved you and you were supposed to be there for me. You were supposed to pick me. You were supposed to be here for me. Now, I don't know whether there was someone else. I don't know whether this person just put other priorities in front of you, because I don't feel like there was love. And there was a sense of, I don't need to do it. So again, this person is realizing it. So let's look at some hidden truths. We will be together again. So even though they feel hopeless, again, there's a part of them that's like, but I still feel you. And why can't I move forward? Why, if I would be able to move forward if I knew for sure that you really didn't want me, but I feel you're angry and you wouldn't have any feeling or emotion towards me. So maybe I can fix it where I feel like this person like is willing to like fix it. I hope that you can forgive me one day. It's like, I feel like, again, this person is going to try and come back into your life and give you and forgive. They just don't know whether you're like at the point where you're like, nope, not going to give you a fucking thing. Not going to give you a thing. Like, I can never see you again from where I used to see you because you showed me all that. I love you, though. So this is, again, their hidden truths. I mean, that's a big deal. It's like big deal that they undermined the connection to the point that they undervalued it, to the point that they didn't give anything to it. So they didn't nurture you. And so there's a sense of you not feeling safe with them because they didn't give you the time. And what they showed you is that you're not important in their life. And again, I feel like that's a reoccurring theme within your life. So it definitely is a wound that needs to be healed. I know in my heart we'll be together one day, and that helps me trust. Let's keep working on us. It's like this person again, but just believes in their heart of heart. They know there's a part of them that when they really think about what they did, they're like, no, I don't think so. But they focus on the connection. And that's what a twin flame relationship does. So I feel like it's bringing up a lot of wounds, a lot of pain, a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, a lot of it, just a lot of this negative energy that this person didn't really create. It's that, yes, they weren't there for you, so they contributed to it, but it wouldn't be so exasperated if it wasn't a karmic theme. And so, it's, again, they know that they focus on the love, they focus on that. Because of you, I'm starting to see what is really important in life. It's because you removed yourself. You're like, fuck you. You didn't give me anything. You're not going to be here. You're not going to give anything. It's such a sure thing because we have this divine connection, because I showed you how much I care. So you're going to treat me like shit. This is how you feel. And so it's, again, and they know it. And they're like, it forced them to be like, look how I treated you. They're ashamed. I'm trying to understand how my thoughts created my reality. I know I need to stay positive, or you, and I feel like again, they don't know what to do because they don't know like how like how you're going to deal with them. They know one part of them is like there's unconditional love. They know that, but they also know that they crossed the line. They know that they didn't invest in you, that they didn't give anything, and they know you're going to hold their feet to the flame. And that they also know that it's not going to be easy, but they want to know that you're at least open to it. If you don't even want to hear from them, then they're like, I don't know how. And I feel like they can feel like you're like, no. And I feel like because you get, but when you think about it, you're like, fuck you. You're like, there's an energy. And believe me, if this person is a soulmate twin flame, they can feel your anger. It's just you wouldn't be mad if you didn't have feelings, which I think it pisses you off that you have feelings. It makes you like upset. We have past life connection memories are surfacing either consciously or subconsciously. It's again, past life connections are soulmate twin flames coming back into this life, stepping it up. But I feel like this person does that same thing. It's a recurring thing where they're not confident in relationships. So they give very little. They overcompensate. And so again, by being like they don't care, by being too macho. So it's again, here they felt such deep connection and you didn't get anything. And they're, like you said, they're ashamed. But our hearts are connected. Take a moment to close your eyes and feel the connection. They're like, please just like go back to feeling that and to know that we have a connection. And I think that they know that you're like, no. You're like, no, absolutely not. It's like, and they're like, there's a sense of, but I know we're going to be together again. I'm going to do everything to try and make that happen because I believe that love always wins. And so they're again choosing to focus on the positive, but they know like in order for it to work, you need to be positive, and they're like, I don't know how you are. And so that is why all the anxiety and so the ball is in your court, which makes it them feel really hopeless. I feel you pulling away, and it triggers my fears that you'll leave me for good. It's again, like I said, this person is like knows that you're like, fuck off. You again gave nothing. You gave to somebody else. You never cared about me because again, we have this deep connection. You feel like you don't have to do that. Well, I feel like this person isn't used to having to do anything to begin with. There's a sense of that they're charming and they're usually keep things light and people tend to do all the work for them. So they handled you the way that they handle everyone else. It's just that's a wound for you, and you actually look subconsciously for people to come into your life to show you that nurturing, to give you that. And so this is why it's a reoccurring theme that you get what you need, and what you needed was to see that you don't need it. You actually pulling away means that you emotionally invested in yourself and get it from other places because they're feeling the emotional like cut off. So which means that there must be somebody else. There must be someone else, where that doesn't mean that there's somebody else, but this is their perception because that's how they roll. You know, it's like, oh, well, I just need someone else. That's how they acted to you again by giving you very little. They overcompensated for their feelings of lack, but it's like they can feel you pulling away. And so that emotional, like your mind can't be in two places at one time. There was a time that they felt you all the time, and that gave them a sense of safety, which made them feel like, I don't need to put any work here. This is a sure thing. I'll get back to you. And what they see that is like all that, and how they're like, where they could have did it, they didn't do it. And then what happened is I feel like after a while they couldn't do it. And so much time has passed that you're like, that they're like, I don't even feel you anymore. I don't even feel you a lot of times. I don't feel you. These feelings overwhelm me and I become afraid. Sometimes I even run away from you because of it. It's again, yeah, like it's triggering the shit out of them because they're like, I can't do anything about this. I feel like I'm overwhelmed. I feel hopeless. There's nothing I can do, but I have all these feelings and I don't want to deal with it. Well, that's the problem. They didn't want to deal with really creating an intimate connection. That's really what it is. They didn't want to like take off that facade. They still wanted to play like they were cool man, cool woman out. And it's like, well, they know that they damaged the connection. That's for damn sure. I'm tired of being away from you physically. I'm trying to process my fear so I can come back to you. It's like, again, I told you that they're going to work their way back. They're like, I'm going to try. They're working up the courage because they know they're going to walk into a battle. They know it. And they know it's deserved by them. They don't know how you're going to handle it. And I feel like for some of you, you will, and for some of you, if you let your anger take over, then you won't. But this is a soulmate twin flame relationship. So I feel like it's a divine connection. So learning how to integrate the spiritual lesson is not cutting this person off, believe it or not. Most people say, no, it's aggravating, it triggers you. You have to, and you have to integrate it because there's unconditional love, there is passion, there is that fire element that allows you to transmute the wound. So you would think, no, I don't want to be with this person. Fuck them. Look how they treated me. Look at this, look at that. Da, da, da. And all those things are true. But unconditional love is still unconditional love. It means that, yeah, you did all that, but I still love you because I can't control love. Love is the only energy that can't be destroyed. It can't be manipulated, regardless of whether it was fair what they did or not. It's like the lesson is unconditional love. This person has come into your life. So it did bring up a lot of shit for you. They're coming back. So for those of you that decide to step into your divine feminine energy, it would be to deal with the situation differently. I mean, you would deal with the situation differently by looking at the wounds, looking at your spiritual wounds. So again, self-love, that fell out, so we take it. I never believe in any mistakes. Not on this channel, physical touch. I associate that with emotional, right? Again, because when you're a kid and you need that nurturance, it's love, and you feel like comforted. So it's comfort, but it's emotional comfort. So again, when we get older, we tend to look for that. And this is what, again, this person wasn't here for you. They didn't do that. So it brought that up. So to integrate it, self-sabotage, like again, and normally you would let your temper or your anger get in the way. It's like it would let your emotions, I should say, dictate. Because self-sabotage could also be like, well, I wanted to do what I felt like doing and not really what I needed to do. Self-love means invest in yourself, not just take a nice bubble bath or go to the spa. It means give yourself the emotional support, fill your cup up so it fills all the way up and overflows. And so again, this person came in and gave nothing. So you really felt that lack because you're like, wait a minute, we have such a strong connection. I know you love me and this is how you're treating me. Are you fucking kidding me? It's like, so this is, again, so I'm gonna put the cards back just to be fair and say, let's ask what this person's inner child wounds are. Because it's not uncommon for soulmate twin flame relationships to trigger each other. Listen, you didn't cave. This person now is learning the lesson. So what do they need to integrate in order to balance out the connection? Let's see. Truth, living their truth, stop living behind facade. It's again, know what their truth is by finding themselves, first of all, and not live by the mask. Again, doing what feels right and not what logically makes sense to them. Especially if they have wounds within relationships, because which is what I feel, because they perceive the relationship through the wound. I don't have to do that much for it. So it's going to be here. I can treat you however I want. And also to treat people the way you want to be treated. Again, to heal disassociation, again, that's the trauma that we go through in childhood where we emotionally don't know what we feel. We detach. It's almost like we're watching someone else. So the person had to, again, integrate that trauma, and they are now because you left. And so it's making them, again, realize what they did on an emotional level. They checked out. That's what disassociation is. And I feel like it's because they weren't living their truth. Again, the connection is a deep connection. It's a real connection. It's a passionate connection for a reason. It's to awaken. We wouldn't stick around to look at our wounds. We wouldn't volunteer to do the healing. We're not. We kind of get tricked into it by this divine person that comes into our life, that changes our life, that disrupts our life. And I feel like you both have a little bit of dissociation disorder from past traumas. From abandonment. So understand parents not being there, people not being there emotionally, psychologically, even physically. But I feel like, again, trauma for children is usually psychic trauma, where they perceive their parents should love them and it should look a certain way. And those parents don't display love that way. They're angry, they're bogged down by their own life experiences, whether they have money problems, relationship problems, just health problems, any little imbalance, and it's how well your parents dealt with stress. So again, if your parents checked out, where they drank, where they didn't deal with their problems, they avoided problems, or they were too much like, oh my God, worried, where the problems became over, well, that trauma was inherited by you and your person. And so it plays out as abandonment issues because your parents weren't there. So that's a trauma that always plays out within your current relationships. So your person abandoned you. They weren't there for you. That's what it made you feel like. It's like, again, I have to do everything on my own. But really, this person knows and sees that they abandoned themselves because they really had feelings for you, but they played this game, this facade. And for what? For no apparent reason. So again, both abandonment is also self-sabotage, whether we mean to or not. And I believe that I did pull that self-sabotage. So that's when we get in our own way. And severe trauma causes psychological reversals where we get in our own way. We do the exact opposite of what we want. So again, there is unconditional love here, which it's all me twin flame is. That's what it is. That's what the frustration it is. I can't move forward. I would like to just replace you, your person is saying, and you're like, I'm so angry, but I can't move on. I'm so angry and I just can't move on. And the trigger, and then it's like, I'm fucked either way. If I do have you back, it's like you get away with what you did to me. And I don't want to forget you. There's a sense of no, where it's like you want to cut it off. But I'm telling you, it's like with your soulmate twin flame relationship, there's always a runner and a chaser. And a lot of times that dynamic changes. And I feel like it has changed where you are now the runner. But if again, this person is going to try to like win you back. Unconditional love always wins. That's all I'm going to say. I know that a lot of you probably are like, I don't want to hear it. I'm so mad. And I realize that. But you won't know what you're going to do until you actually do it. And that's why it's karmic. It's like, are you going to learn from the spiritual lesson? And the spiritual lesson is, I love this person. What needed to be healed? And it's again, abandonment. And that's abandonment from, again, your own emotional needs. Live your truth. Live your truth, and everyone else will fall into suit, everything else without the demands of it. Because sometimes the demands of it is what overstimulates your person to actually sabotage themselves. Like, yeah, I know that that's what you want, but I'm not going to do it now. And you're like, why the fuck would you not do it? Well, it triggered their wound of feeling controlled, feeling manipulated, even though, again, that's not what happened, is that they viewed it through their wound. And it's, again, that's what these divine relationships are all about. So we ask spirit, what is the energy that we could pull in to actually help us out here? And it's unconditional love. Learn the lesson of unconditional love. I don't lie here. That's spirit, right? Look at, my heart is free from resentment. It's again, that's again what's making you like, I'm resentful because you're making me feel this way. It shouldn't have looked like this. You shouldn't have treated me this way. You're not going to be able to fix it. You're not going to be able to. I'm not going to accept it. And so again, there's a lot of anger. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of that needs to come up because this was blocking your heart chakra. Now discover the light and the beauty in every being. I am aware that suffering can cause distress and hurt in people. I see the pure child in everyone and practice forgiveness. So that's a spiritual lesson for you both. But for you especially, I'm going to leave that there. I'll talk to you all soon. You let me know whether you resonated with this. Bye.